Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to Robert's Sports Show. I'm your host, Robert. AEW pay-per-view history and best matches. A little over 2.5 years ago, January 1st, 2019, we had the Elite at New Japan in front of the Tokyo Dome, Tokyo, Japan, announcing 2 a.m. or midnight Pacific time, the birth of All Elite Wrestling. This is the 11th pay-per-view since then. First pay-per-view was 2 years ago for Double or Nothing. That was kind of the prelude to the All In that kind of sparked everything. It's amazing where this company has came from, where it's going, the talent it has. I've watched every single match in AEW history. I've watched all of Evolution, Dark Evolution on Monday nights on YouTube. I've watched all the Dark. I've watched all the Dynamite. I've watched the specials. I've watched all the pay-per-views. I've watched it all. Every single match in AEW history I've watched. This is the third Double or Nothing. There's been 77 pay-per-view matches, 63 men, 14 women, 22 times the titles have been on the line. We're going to go through the 10 best matches in those two previous Double or Nothings. Then I'm going to go through the 10 best women's matches and men's matches at those 10 previous pay-per-views. And then we'll do in a separate video, we'll have the preview for Double or Nothing. The whole forbidden door that Tony Khan has spoke of. I love it. I like the fact we have multiple companies working together. That you can see a Kenny Omega on New Japan Strong. You can see a Ren Narita on Dark on New Japan. Kenny Omega is going over to Impact. Good Brothers, part of Impact, coming over to AEW. Hopefully a Moose shows up on AEW. Hopefully we have more people kind of going through that forbidden door and working together to strengthen pro wrestling. I know in the Twitter atmosphere today, I've seen a lot of New Japan Wrestling is working with WWE. Like I told the Collect fam, I don't like it. I would rather see New Japan work with an AEW, an Impact, a Ring of Honor, not WWE. Here's my thought. Here's my only thought. And I had said this to J-Man as well. When they work with a company, they tend to either strip that company of their top talent and they create their own shit, or they buy that company. They had a working relationship with Progress Wrestling when they created NXT UK. They basically took the top tier talent from Progress, almost everyone, and left Progress barren for stars. Now, is Progress a good independent British independent wrestling company? Yeah, it is. It's pretty good stuff. I watch it all the time. But they took the Walters, the Grizzled Young Veterans, those kind of guys came to NXT. There has been talk over time of there being an NXT Japan. There was talk a year or so, I think it was a year or two ago, maybe before COVID, NXT having their in Saudi Arabia area, in India. That's actually been talked here recently. There was a talk of NXT South America. There was a talk of NXT Japan. There was talk of them working with Pro Wrestling Noah and having NXT in Japan. Any relationship with New Japan Pro Wrestling and WWE, I think it has long-term effects on that happening. I don't want to see New Japan Pro Wrestling being devalued or being taken from us from what we know and love now. I think if Vince got his hands on that talent, his talent would go over. If you had a Roman Reigns and Suzuki Okada main event in WrestleMania, Suzuki Okada at WrestleMania, would that not be fucking awesome? But Reigns would go over. Okay, maybe he should or shouldn't, I don't know. That's a whole different talk. But you know what? That's my feelings on it. I just want to throw it out there because it's going on today. Let's get back to the AEW pay-per-views. 10 best matches in Double or Nothing history. Number 10, 2019, 6 women tag match. Aja Kong, Yuka Sasaki, Emi Suzuka versus Hiroki Shida, Ryo Ali, and Ryo Mizunami. Shida, Abi, and Mizunami got the victory there. I give it 3 1/4. Number 9 comes from 2020 Double or Nothing AEW World Heavyweight Title line champion Jon Moxley versus Brody Lee. Mox getting the victory there, 3 1/4. Number 8 comes from 2020, the Casino Ladder Match. We had Luchasaurus, Frankie Kazarian, Scorpio Sky, Kip Saban, Darby Allin, Orange Cassidy, Colt Cabana, Boom Boom, Bad Boy Joey Janela, and then Brian Cage. Brian Cage winning that. I gave that 3 1/2. And then last year, number 7 on this list comes from the Stadium Stampede last year. Inner Circle, led by Chris Jericho versus the Elite, Kenny Omega, Young Bucks, Adam Page, Matt Hardy. And as we see in 2021, we have another Stadium Stampede involving the Inner Circle. And my boy MJF. Gotta love me some MJF. Speaking of MJF, number 6 on the list. 2020 men's singles match. MJF, Maxwell Jacob Freeman versus Jungle Boy. MJF getting victory there in 3 1/2 star. Number 5 on the list from 2019 is a 6-man tag at Double or Nothing. SCU versus the Strong Hearts, Sema, T-Hawk, and El Lindra. SCU getting the victory there, 3 3/4 star. Number 4 comes from 2019. There's a tag match. It was Best Friends versus the Hybrid 2, TH2, Jack Evans, and Angelico. Best Friends getting that victory, 3 3/4 star, giving the people what they want. Number 3 comes from 2019. We had Kenny Omega versus Chris Jericho. Jericho getting the victory there in a 4 1/4 star match. And then number 2 at Double or Nothing Best Matches, 2019, Brother versus Brother, Cody Rhodes versus Dustin Rhodes. I ended up giving that match 4 3/4. It told a hellacious story, and you could just feel for the younger brother Cody, his big brother Dustin, how the dad treated them differently, and because they had different moms, and just how they just had that animosity against each other. They go out there and they just destroy one another. Dustin Rhodes, very best match in the history of his whole fucking career. Cody getting the victory, and then at the end of it, they embraced, they hugged. It's like, we got all that out. Now we can be brothers. That led to the brother versus brother, or the brothers versus brothers, when the Rhodes brothers faced the Young Bucks. So yeah, that was a great match. Cody getting the victory there, 4 3/4 star. And the best match at Double or Nothing, 2019, AAA tag titles on the line. The champion, the Young Bucks, versus the Lucha Brothers. For those who didn't know, Pentagon Jr. and Rey Fenix. Or Penta El Nero Zero and Rey Fenix versus the Young Bucks. One of the great tag team matches of all time. 5 stars, ladies and gentlemen. 5 stars. And then at All Out, they tried to beat that match with a ladder fucking match. That's going to be one of the best matches on the whole pay-per-view history. Now, if you look at the 10 previous shows, those 14 women's matches, we have the best 10 here. Number 10 comes from Full Gear 2020, AEW Women's Championship, Nyla Rose, Hikaru Shida. Shida getting the victory, 2 1/4 star. Double or Nothing 2020 is next. AEW Women's title, no disqualifications, no countouts. Champion Nyla Rose versus challenger Hikaru Shida. Shida getting the victory there as well, 2 3/4 star. 2019 Double or Nothing Fatal 4-Way. We had Kaylee Ray, Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, Nyla Rose, Awesome Kong. Dr. Britt Baker getting her victory, 2 3/4 star. Revolution 2021, a women's tag match. Number 7 on the list. Dr. Britt Baker, Micah Io versus Thunder Rosa and Rio. Dr. Britt Baker and Maki Io getting the victory, 2 3/4 star. Number 6 comes from Fyter Fest 2019, women's triple threat. Rio versus Yuka Sasaki. Now versus Nyla Rose, Rio getting the victory there. Number 5. That was 2 3/4 star in the last 3 matches. Number 5 comes from Revolution 2021 AEW Women's Title. Champion Hikaru Shida versus Rio Mizunami. Shida getting the victory in a 3-star match. Number 4 on the list comes from All Out 2019, a women's singles match. Hikaru Shida versus Rio. Rio getting the victory there, 3-star match. Number 3 on the list, third best women's match in AEW pay-per-view history. That Double or Nothing 6-woman tag match from 2019 with a team of Hikaru Shida, Rio Abe, Rio Mizunami beat Kong, Sasaki, and Imu Shikura. 3 1/4 star match. That was the 10th best match in Double or Nothing history. Number 2 on the list comes from All Out 2020. Hikaru Shida versus Thunder Rosa. That was a 3 1/4 star match. And then the best women's match in AEW pay-per-view history. I'm saying pay-per-view history because we all know that lights out match between Thunder Rosa and Dr. Britt Baker on Dynamite was the Hizzle and the Shizzle of pro wrestling women's matches. Emi Suzuki, Sakura versus Rio. Rio getting the victory there in 3 1/2. Excuse me for fucking butchering the Japanese names. That's why I don't do a lot of NJPW videos, because I'll just fuck the names up. Alright, the 10 best men's matches in AEW pay-per-view history. Number 10, Fyter Fest 2019. Laredo Kid teaming up with the Lucha Brothers versus the Elite. Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks getting the victory, 4 1/4 star. Number 9 comes from Fight for the Fallen 2019. Brothers versus Brothers. The Rhodes Brothers, Dusty and Cody versus the Young Bucks, Matt and Nick Jackson. The Bucks got the victory, 4 1/4. Number 8 comes from 2019. Kenny Omega versus Chris Jericho, 4 1/4 star match. Number 7 comes from Fight for the Fallen 2019. Kenny Omega versus CIMA. Kenny Omega getting the victory, 4 1/4 star match. Number 6, Revolution 2020. For the AEW Tag Team Championships, the Young Bucks, Nick and Matt Jackson versus Kenny Omega and Adam Page, the Tag Team Champions, retaining their titles, 4 1/4 star match. Number 5 is that Double or Nothing brother versus brother match, Cody versus Dusty. That is the 5th best men's match in AEW pay-per-view history, with Cody got the victory, 4 3/4. Number 4 on the list comes from All Out 2019, Kenny Omega versus Pac. Pac getting the victory there. I gave it 4 3/4. I thought it was a phenomenal match. Number 3, Full Gear 2019, Lights Out men's singles match, Kenny Omega versus Jon Moxley. Jon Moxley getting the victory there, 4 3/4 star match. That is the amazing thing about Jon Moxley. Mox can go out there and have a match against Kenny Omega, 4 3/4 star, lights out, anything goes. When he finally has the Game Changer Wrestling World Heavyweight Title match versus Nick Gage, it's going to be that kind of destruction. He's going to be able to go out there and put on a fucking damn good match. But yet he can go out there and have a technical match with anybody in the world. He went out there against Nagata for the IWGP United States title match. It was a, what, 3 1/2 star match? So, I mean, this guy can go out there and wrestle almost anyone. Number 2 on the list comes from Double or Nothing 2019. AAA Tag Titles on the line. Champion, the Young Bucks versus the Lucha Bros. Young Bucks getting the victory. I gave it 5-star match. Number 1, the best pay-per-view match in AEW history. All Out 2019 ladder match. AAA Tag Titles on the line. Champion, the Lucha Bros versus the Young Bucks. They took a 5-star match. Let's make it a fucking ladder match. They did a fucking Canadian Destroyer off a ladder through a table. You heard me. A Canadian Destroyer off a ladder through a table. If you've not seen that spot, go watch it. That spot will make you jump out of your fucking chair like, holy hell, did that just happened? Are they fucking dead? On that entire match was, are they fucking dead? I will not go above 5-star. When I watch a professional wrestling match, I rate it 0 to 5. Now, when I have multiple 5-star matches, can I say, yes, this match was better than this match? Yes, I will. Do it in a heartbeat. Do it in NXT all the time. Do it here all the time. I will not say, well, this match was 5.5. Well, this match was 6-star. No. 5 stars the most, 0 is the worst. Everything in between. That's just the way I rate matches. A lot of it has to depend on, do I enjoy the match? Are they telling me a story? Are they keeping me involved? So when I watch a match, say I'm watching a match between Orange Cassidy and Minoru Suzuki. Haven't seen this match. It was supposed to happen, and the weekend got canceled and it never happened. Let's just say we're watching that match. Just thinking, y'all know who Minoru Suzuki is. Orange Cassidy, yeah. That match was going to intrigue me. I'm going to be intrigued on what's going to happen. If I'm watching a match again, Bianca Belair versus Sasha Banks. Entertain me. Show me what, I know what Bianca Belair can do. I know what Sasha Banks can do. Bring it together, entertain me. Okay, I'm entertained. I can't take my eyes off this match. Okay. So I start a typical match, just 10-minute Raw match, 2 3/4, 3-star, typical match. When you start doing spots that you normally don't do, or spots that are like holy shit kind of spots, we had the triple threat at Backlash, Armenia, Shawn, Benoit, and Tripp. That match kept spot after spot after spot after spot after spot after spot. There was not that law. That fucker was 5-star. For me, a 5-star match has to be over 20 minutes. I'll never rate a match under 20 minutes 5-star. I'll rate matches 4 3/4, especially like the ladder match at TakeOver New Orleans for the North American title. There's a couple laws in there. So it's like, it was kind of like, oh, now what? Everybody's healing up on the side, everybody's resting up for a second. Yeah, no, I take points off of that. That's typically how I rate a match. The cool thing about professional wrestling, I can absolutely love a match. It's a 5-star match. You may go, that match was not a 5-star match. That's a 4-star match at best. Because it's my opinion. Professional wrestling, 90% opinion, 10% fact. Kenny Omega, John Moxley, lights out. John Moxley won. There's the fact part of it. Now there's 90% opinion. My opinion is 4 3/4. Next person may say 5, next person may say 4. So, if you are a fan of Rubber Sports Show and you're a fan of AEW, please comment below what your favorite match was and what you would have rated these matches. Stay tuned to Rubber Sports Show for the AEW Double or Nothing preview. I'm excited about this. I got a lot of things to say. I can't wait. I think this show is going to be pretty freaking awesome. Match to match is going to be great. We're going to have some new champions. We're going to have some retains. But stay tuned to Robert Sports Show for that preview. As always, thanks for watching Robert Sports Show. Don't just have a great day. Have a spiffy day. Robert Sports Show, your YouTube leader in sports show and content.